Have you ever wondered what it took for women to dominate Hollywood during its golden age? These trailblazers didn't just act, they defined an era. In today's video, we'll dive into the fascinating stories of the women who ruled Hollywood's golden age. From their unforgettable performances to the personal struggles they faced behind the scenes, these icons changed the course of cinema forever. Get ready to meet the legends who, against all odds, made their mark in a male-dominated industry. And trust me, the drama behind their rise is just as captivating as their roles on screen. The golden age of Hollywood, which spanned from the late 1920s to the early 1960s, was a time when the film industry experienced an unprecedented surge in creativity, glamour, and commercial success. It was a period defined by larger-than-life stars, revolutionary cinematic techniques, and a flourishing of various genres that shaped the future of filmmaking. However, amidst this backdrop of cinematic triumphs, there was a select group of women who not only contributed to the entertainment industry, but completely dominated it, leaving an indelible mark on Hollywood's legacy. In an era where gender inequality was rampant and women's roles were often relegated to mere love interests or secondary characters, these actresses stood out not only for their beauty, but also for their talent, resilience, and groundbreaking achievements. From silent films to talkies, from dramatic roles to comedic performances, these women shattered the traditional norms of their time. They redefined what it meant to be a star and proved that women could command the screen just as powerfully as their male counterparts. The rise of silent film stars. Before the introduction of sound in films, the silent film era was a period where actresses had to rely heavily on their expressive faces and body language. It was an era where visual impact was paramount, and the actresses who ruled this realm were often those with unique looks and commanding presences. Mary Pickford, known as America's sweetheart, was one of the most influential figures of the silent film era. With her trademark blonde curls and childlike innocence, Pickford was a pioneer who helped establish Hollywood as the entertainment capital of the world. She co-founded United Artists, a production company that gave filmmakers more control over their work, and was the first woman to win an Academy Award. Pickford's roles in films like Pollyanna and Tess of the Storm Country showed the range she had, portraying both vulnerable and resilient characters. Another monumental figure during this period was Gloria Swanson, whose iconic portrayal of Norma Desmond in Sunset Boulevard, 1950, would immortalize her in Hollywood history. Before this, however, Swanson was one of the highest-paid actresses of her time, starring in silent films such as Sadie Thompson and Beyond the Rocks. Swanson's career wasn't just defined by her roles but by her entrepreneurial spirit, as she was one of the first actresses to produce her films, carving out her path in an industry dominated by men. Clara Bow, the original It Girl, also defined the silent film era with her unique charisma and sexual appeal. Bow's lively personality and natural acting made her an instant star in films like Wings, 1927, which won the first Academy Award for Best Picture. Her ability to capture both the energy and allure of the flapper era made her one of the most popular actresses of the Roaring Twenties, and her status as a sex symbol would influence generations of actresses to come. The introduction of sound and the talkie revolution. When sound technology was introduced in the late 1920s, it completely changed the landscape of Hollywood. The talkie revolution brought with it both new opportunities and challenges for women in the film industry. While some stars struggled to transition from silent films to sound pictures, others thrived and found their voices in this new era of cinema. One such actress was Norma Shearer, who made the jump to sound films with ease and became one of MGM's most popular leading ladies. Known for her poise and elegance, Shearer was often cast in sophisticated roles, from period dramas to comedies. Her performances in films like The Divorcee, 1930, earned her an Academy Award, and she became known as the First Lady of MGM. Another notable star of the early sound era was Joan Crawford, whose career spanned several decades and saw her evolve from a bubbly starlet in silent films to a dynamic, dramatic actress in talkies. Crawford's versatility made her one of the most respected actresses of the Golden Age. With a commanding presence, she delivered unforgettable performances in films like Mildred Pierce, 1945, for which she won an Academy Award for Best Actress. Perhaps one of the most significant figures to emerge in the transition to sound was Bette Davis, who went on to become one of the greatest actresses of her time. Davis's career flourished in the 1930s and 1940s, and she became known for her fierce independence, her ability to play complex characters, and her iconic roles in films like All About Eve, 1950, and Jezebel, 1938. Davis was unapologetically ambitious and often clashed with studio heads to ensure her artistic freedom. Her unmatched talent, sharp wit, and commanding presence on screen made her a defining figure of the Golden Age. The Golden Age glamour queens. As the 1930s and 1940s ushered in an era of cinematic glamour, a number of actresses became symbols of beauty, style, and sophistication. These women captured the public's imagination not only through their acting, but also through their elegance, leading them to become cultural icons. Rita Hayworth, known for her red hair and sultry charm, became one of the most popular actresses of the 1940s. Her role in Gilda, 1946, remains one of the most iconic in Hollywood history, cementing her status as a sex symbol and a talented actress capable of portraying both strength and vulnerability. Hayworth's beauty, paired with her alluring on-screen presence, made her a beloved figure who transcended the confines of film and became a global sensation. Similarly, Lauren Bacall's striking looks and husky voice made her a star in the late 1940s. Bacall's career was defined by her ability to deliver her lines with a level of coolness and sophistication that set her apart from her peers. Her performances in films like To Have and Have Not, 1944, where she famously delivered the line, "You know how to whistle, don't you, Steve? You just put your lips together and blow," showcased her trademark blend of sensuality and mystery, earning her a place among Hollywood's elite. Ava Gardner, often referred to as the most beautiful woman in the world, was another actress who epitomized the Golden Age glamour. She starred in films like The Killers, 1946, and Mogambo, 1953, where her natural beauty and acting talent shone through. Despite her off-screen struggles, including her tumultuous marriages and publicized love affairs, Gardner's legacy in Hollywood remained untarnished, and she became an enduring symbol of the era's opulence. The comedic genius of the Golden Age. While many of the women of the Golden Age were known for their dramatic roles, some stood out in the world of comedy. These actresses were celebrated not only for their wit, but for their ability to make audiences laugh while also delivering powerful performances. Carole Lombard was one of the most beloved comedic actresses of her time. Known for her sharp comedic timing, stunning beauty, and wit, Lombard starred in a series of screwball comedies, including My Man Godfrey, 1936, and Nothing Sacred, 1937, which showcased her talent for physical comedy as well as her ability to deliver rapid-fire dialogue with ease. Lombard's career was tragically cut short when she died in a plane crash in 1942, but her contributions to comedy and film continue to be celebrated. Lucille Ball, though she would rise to even greater fame in the television era, made a significant impact on the Golden Age with her comedic roles in films like The Big Street, 1942, and Room Service, 1938. Ball's ability to blend slapstick humor with relatable, every-woman appeal made her a beloved figure in Hollywood, and her legacy as one of the greatest comedic actresses of all time remains unchallenged. The untold struggles and triumphs. The journey to success for many of these Golden Age actresses was far from easy. Behind the glamour, beauty, and fame, these women faced numerous struggles in a male-dominated industry. Despite their undeniable talent, they had to fight for roles that allowed them to showcase their full range, often contending with typecasting, exploitation, and the ever-present societal pressures of the time. One of the most notable examples of an actress overcoming such struggles was Katharine Hepburn. Known for her strong-willed, independent persona both on and off-screen, Hepburn was often viewed as unconventional by Hollywood standards. Her refusal to conform to the typical Hollywood feminine ideal made her a polarizing figure during her early years in the industry. She faced rejection and public criticism, with many claiming that she wasn't attractive enough to be a leading lady. However, Hepburn's determination and unparalleled talent eventually earned her respect, and she became one of the most respected actresses in Hollywood. She won 4 Academy Awards for Best Actress, a record that still stands today, and her powerful performances in films like The Philadelphia Story, 1940, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, 1967, made her a true icon of the Golden Age. Similarly, Mae West, with her bold, sassy persona, was both adored and criticized for her unapologetic sexuality. West made her mark in films such as She Done Him Wrong, 1933, and I'm No Angel, 1933, where she pushed boundaries with her provocative humor and innuendo-filled dialogue. While her films were often criticized for their risque content, West used her sexuality as a form of empowerment, making her a trailblazer in challenging traditional gender norms. She famously said, "I used to be Snow White, but I drifted." Her unapologetic approach to her persona paved the way for future actresses who sought to assert their sexual agency and creative control. However, it wasn't just the actresses who had to face the battle of survival in Hollywood. Studios themselves, including the major ones like MGM, Warner Brothers, and Paramount, often dictated every aspect of an actress's career. They were frequently under strict contracts that limited their freedom. The control exercised by the studios was especially evident when it came to how actresses were marketed. Some were turned into products molded by the studios into the perfect image, often at the cost of their own identities. For example, Judy Garland, a beloved star known for her role in The Wizard of Oz, 1939, struggled with immense pressure from the studio system. Garland was pushed into grueling work schedules and subjected to strict diet and beauty regimens that took a toll on her physical and mental health. She later became an advocate for artists' rights, though her struggles with substance abuse, self-esteem, and her tumultuous personal life often overshadowed her remarkable career. Despite these challenges, Garland's talent as a singer and actress was undeniable, and her later performances in A Star is Born, 1954, and other films showcase the depth and range that made her one of Hollywood's most enduring stars. Supporting roles and behind-the-scenes contributions. While the actresses of the Golden Age are often celebrated for their performances in front of the camera, many of them also contributed behind the scenes in ways that influenced the development of Hollywood. Dorothy Arzner, for example, was one of the few women directors during the Golden Age. She directed films such as Christopher Strong, 1933, and The Wild Party, 1929, and was known for her innovative use of the camera and her ability to create strong female characters on screen. Arzner was a trailblazer in a field dominated by men, and her work as a director helped open doors for future generations of female filmmakers. Another notable behind-the-scenes figure was Ida Lupino, an accomplished actress who also became one of the few women directors in Hollywood. After a successful acting career in films such as They Drive by Night, 1940, and High Sierra, 1941, Lupino transitioned into directing, where she carved out a niche in film noir and social drama. Her films, such as The Bigamist, 1953, and Outrage, 1950, often focused on women's struggles and explored taboo subjects like mental illness, infidelity, and domestic violence. Lupino's ability to handle difficult and controversial material with sensitivity made her an important voice in an industry where such topics were often avoided. Even the glamorous actresses themselves were often keenly aware of their influence and sought to break the mold. Greta Garbo, one of the most iconic and enigmatic stars of the Golden Age, was not just a beauty, she was also a symbol of individualism and rebellion. Garbo's film Camille, 1936, displayed her ability to convey raw emotion and vulnerability. Garbo famously said, "I want to be alone," a sentiment that became emblematic of her desire for solitude away from the public eye, and also highlighted her desire to control her narrative. She ultimately walked away from Hollywood at the peak of her career, a move that only added to her mystique. So which of these incredible women left the biggest impact on you? Their stories are nothing short of inspiring. If you want to uncover more hidden gems from Hollywood's Golden Age, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us for the next journey into the world of cinema legends. You won't want to miss what's coming next.